What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight! Alright, we're coming back to Dimmu Borgir. Yes, indeed. Dimmu Borgir fans? FEELIN? Yo, come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-boobidi bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Ben Guevara, and Ben wanted to see me react to this song by Dimmu Borgir called Progenies of the Great Apocalypse. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, hold everything, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Dimmu Borgir, shocking, and the video has 479,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Progenies of the Great Apocalypse. That's all I got. I can't think there are too many songs out there that have the same title as this, so I'm willing to bet we're probably in the right place. Plus, we got this artwork up here, which just, you know, reinforces that conclusion. Oh, so this is going to be a studio. I think this is the first studio recording I've done. Everything else I've done by them, I think, has been live, so let's see how they sound in studio. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Start.
Without the eyes to see, for those who revel in cerebrally, greed and prosperity of the future seal, cloaked by the thunders of the north wind, born to capture the essence of the traits of our kind. Zero tolerance must be issued forth. Hide the enemy's line. So we shall be waiting, and so it shall be done. $0 must be issued.
Not sure about the vocal effect there. Yeah.
$0 must be issued forth. Hide the enemy's line. So we shall be waiting, and so it shall be done. $0 must be issued forth.
It's not so much the effect. It's not so much the fact that they put an effect on there. Like when bands put vocal effects onto the vocals, if there's a reason for it, if there's a purpose for it, and it's done well, I usually don't have a problem with it. When there's absolutely no rhyme or reason for putting the effect on, they're just putting it on just for the sake of putting it on, or when the effect is way overdone, then I have a problem. Now, I don't know about the reasoning. Maybe there is. Maybe within the story that's being told, maybe there is a need for that. Maybe this is a different character that's, taking over this part of the story. It's very possible. I don't know, so I'm not going to come down on it for that reason. On the flip side, though, my other complaint stands. It's overdone. It's really overdone. It could have been a lot more subtle, and it would have been just as effective. As a matter of fact, I think it would have been more effective because it would have sounded more realistic. This was very heavy on the effect. It was very wet and a little grinding, if you ask me. Anyway, let's keep going here.
Behind the enemy's line, souls will be returned and souls will be down.
Watch that triplet field. Triplet. That whole section with the clean vocal, dug it. Dug everything about it. The clean vocal, very well done. Nice harmonies and counter melodics underneath it. The tone of voice, very well done. On top of that, what was happening within the song itself, very nicely done, very tastefully done. Never taking away from the vocals. I mean, it was changing up. There was definitely some change-ups happening, but the change-ups were subtle. It wasn't like a tempo increase or a stylistic change. It all stayed within the same style, but we did have some change in feel, switching between straight 4/4 and going to 6/8, but still with the same tempo, still with the same feel, all working within the 3 within the 4. We've talked about this before. Having the 3 within the 4 or the 4 within the 3, depending on how you look at it. Usually it's determined by the 4 and then having the 3 inside of it. So you 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But still having the 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter how you do it. You have the 6/8 or the 12/8 field there, depending on how you look at it. Or just having a triplet feel within the 4. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, triplet, 3, 4, triplet, 3, 4, something like that even. And then, of course, messing around with between the straight time and the halftime feel, all being determined by the snare, whether the snare is on 3 or whether the snare is on the 2 and 4. Now, they're doing some great work there within that section. The vocals, though, were the highlight for me. I'm sorry, they were. I dig it when this band goes clean with their vocals. I really do. I think the vocalist has a great, clean vocal voice. From what I've seen in live footage, that's usually the bassist who has the clean vocal lines assigned to him. he has a great voice, man. He really does. I wish they would show him off more. I hope we get to see more clean vocals through the rest of the song, but if they follow the formula that they have from what I've seen on the channel so far, that's going to be it. They have this one section that has the clean vocal, and then that's it. You know, and that seems to be pretty typical of this band. That's pretty much what I've seen for them every single time. So I enjoy it when I can get it. Hopefully, maybe they'll break their own formula and do some more, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Anyway, let's keep going here. There were things I liked, there were things I loved, and then there were things I didn't like. Now, the good news is I didn't hate anything. There was nothing that I hated, but there were some things I didn't like. But then again, like I said, there were some things that I did like, and there was even one thing I loved. So, This is going to be interesting. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Dimmu Borgir with Progenies of the Great Apocalypse. This was a request from Ben Guevara. Okay, a little bit of a rough one. I really wanted to give it a higher score, but I could not justify it. Like I said, there were some things that I liked. There was even one thing that I actually can say I legit loved. And there were a couple of things that I didn't like. Now, like I said, the good news is I didn't hate anything. So we are up in the positives, definitely. I mean, I think it's a really good score. I think you'll agree with me. Let's see what you think. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.8. Yep, 7.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, a 7.8. What does that mean? Well, a 7.8 will translate to a really good scale rating. I think it's a really good song. It would get 4 out of 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. So, 7.8, really good scale rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Now, How did I come up with this score? Haha! So glad you asked. Okay, let's start with the negatives. Let's get those out of the way, and then we can focus on the positives. The vocal effects. I'm sure there's a reason for them. I'm sure there is. I'm not questioning the purpose of the vocal effects. I do question the levels. I do question the mix. I do question the balance between dry vocal and wet vocal. I think these, when you had the vocal effects on there, man, they were so wet. It was soaking. It was dripping with vocal effect. And I'm sitting here questioning that because it to me, it took away from the vocal itself. It became, the effects became a distraction. And I just, like at the ending, when we heard the vocal effects on the ending, I couldn't understand a word that was going on. And number one, why would you put that vocal even there in the first place while there's a piano solo going on? Why would you have vocals underneath it? And if you're gonna have vocals underneath it, make them subtle. Make them very subtle. And I'm sorry, but those vocal effects are about as subtle as a sledgehammer.
I've been waiting all episode to use that pun.
That is just not going to work. So it's not the fact that they put the vocals of effects on the vocals. I mean, like I said, I'm sure there's a reason for it. It's telling a story, I'm sure, and maybe the vocal effects are needed to enhance the storytelling. It's very possible. All I'm saying is, instead of taking the vocal effects and putting them up to 14, how about you pull them back to like a 4 or a 3? It would be, number one, it would make the vocals sound better, number one. Number two, it wouldn't be such a distraction from everything else that's happening. It's like my entire focus went onto the effects, and it's like that shouldn't happen. You know, when the vocal effects are that wet, that's a problem. So I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. I really didn't like the vocal effects. The orchestral breakdown in the middle, I liked it, but I feel like it was a little misdirected, if I'm being honest with you. And the reason for it is because, again, going back to adding the vocals, I touched on this earlier. When the piano was doing its run, we had the vocals underneath it. Now, if the vocals had been brought down more in the mix, I think I would have liked it more, because I could have appreciated what was happening within the piano more. But I felt like the piano and the vocals kept doing this. You know, here's the piano doing its run, and here's the vocals. Then all of a sudden, the vocals would come up over the piano and push the piano down, and then the piano had to fight to come over the top and push the vocals down, and then the vocals came back over the top and pushed the piano down, and then the piano had to fight its way back up and push the vocals down. It became a struggle. And I'm just like, I don't understand there's no balance. Look, if you're gonna have the piano have a solo run, let it have a solo run. Don't try to complement it with anything else. Everything else that's happening with the orchestrals, trust me, they're supporting it, okay? The rest of the orchestrals are absolutely there to back up and support the piano run. You don't need vocals in there. You really don't. Now, if you are going to want to put a vocal line in there, fine, stop the piano run and let the vocals take control. Let the vocals tell the story. Don't sit there and try to, have this battle and struggle happen within that, because it just, again, it's a distraction. Especially with those, going back to the first point I made, with a vocal effect on there, it really didn't help. That's what I wasn't a big fan of. Now, what was I a fan of? Pretty much everything else. I love that. I love the chunking. At the beginning, we had at the beginning and at the end that the triplet. Felt really nice. It was the triplet within the 4. Dun 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 dun. Very nice. Definitely attention getting, especially with that halftime feel with the snare on the 3 the whole time. It was really nicely done. A lot of some really nice subdivision work happening throughout the entire song. Those were just 2 examples, but there was some great subdivision work happening throughout. The drumming, very well done, very tight, especially with the kick. Going into those sextuplets, really nice in that double time feel with those sex doubles, especially. Very fast, but very clean. Very, very clean. The songwriting, the composition, the arrangement, everything they played made sense. Like every time they would switch up, it was like, okay, I get it. I feel it. It makes sense. It kept the song from going stale, but at the same time, it wasn't happening so often that it became a distraction. It was very well thought out and very well spaced out. The one thing I was a big fan of, well, okay, hold on. Let me back up a little bit. Vocally, I've never been a fan of pure grit and growl, and I honestly probably never will be. When he did not have the vocal effect on his vocals, I was okay with it. It sounded fine. It was fitting for the style of song. I know that's the type of band that Dimmu Borgir is, with the grit and growl vocals. I get it. I understand it. I accept it. It is what it is. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of it, but it does fit the context of the song. So I don't hate on it and I don't dislike it. It's just, it is what it is, and it was done well. So I'll give it that. On the flip side though, the clean vocal section, that was without question my favorite part of the entire song. The vocal work in there was fantastic. The main melodic line, very strong. I'm pretty sure that's the bass player doing the main melodic line. Great power, great support, great projection. And then above it and underneath it, we had some really nice harmony work and counter melodic work. No, I was really happy with that clean section. It was fun. It sounded full. It sounded powerful. I liked it. I liked everything about it. That was absolutely my favorite part of the whole song. Overall, I think it's a really good song. I do. It could be great. Just get rid of those. Seriously, just get rid of the vocal effects. Or if you absolutely are gonna insist on having them, dial them back. I'm telling you, if we had just keep the vocal effect, dial it back, take the mix and between the wet and the dry, and bring that wetness down. Seriously. Focus more on the dry vocal and have the effect there just to kind of enhance, not to overtake. I guarantee you, if just that had happened, there's a chance this might have been up in the 8s. There is a chance. So yeah, but it as it stands, a 7.8. It's still a really good score. So we're gonna stick right there on that 7.8. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We got a 7.8, which is a really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.